I'm Max Hjelm, VP of Sales at CoreWeave, where I'm responsible for all the go-to-market and revenue teams. CoreWeave is a specialized cloud provider delivering infrastructure purpose-built for GPU acceleration. We're powering the AI revolution with market-leading performance, and over the past 3 years at CoreWeave, we've seen incredible growth across the industry and the companies we serve, with a front row seat to how AI is fundamentally changing how people engage with technology. We work with leading AI labs who are building some of the largest AI clusters on the planet to train foundation models. And we work with businesses of all size building products on top of NLP, LLM, and generative AI models who've scaled tremendously as end user demand has exploded. Today I'm going to share some of the things we've learned and a playbook to approach NLP development in the cloud. So we're at an inflection point in the industry where AI is really starting to change how businesses operate. The infrastructure required to support this technology is at the center of that change. And yesterday's legacy infrastructure doesn't necessarily make sense for tomorrow's workloads. Simply put, if AI is the new electricity, we at CoreWeave are building the grid. But the reality is that the market for AI infrastructure is supply constrained, and it's leading to significant development challenges. The unprecedented AI boom we're experiencing as an industry has created an imbalance between supply and demand. Infrastructure requirements are enormous, and everyone needs it right now. Whether it's due to supply chain, data center and power availability, or operational capacity to deliver infrastructure, it's just about as hard to get GPUs as they are critical to the businesses who need them. As models kind of, increase in velocity as they're being released, as large AI labs train foundation models at a greater clip and more open source models are released, the larger and more powerful they get, the more complex the infrastructure requirements are. So in the last couple slides, I talked a little bit about 91% of companies expect to need more GPU infrastructure for AI, and 88% are struggling with access to GPU infrastructure, citing that as a major pain point across the industry. So let's talk a little bit about how to solve that. Ultimately, making smart, informed decisions about your infrastructure can make the difference between success and failure. The companies who've seen early success in AI have really begun to get to know this well. We work tirelessly and extremely closely with our customers to help them solve these challenges, and have developed a playbook to address GPU scarcity, which has 4 basic steps, including moving past the one-size-fits-all cloud model, recognizing that GPU infrastructure is not fungible, starting to get strategic about capacity planning, and ultimately prioritizing availability. Let's take a deeper look at each step. First, moving past the one-size-fits-all model. So the legacy hyperscale clouds, household names, right, have built incredible businesses bringing infrastructure to market that provides an on-ramp to the cloud for the entire planet. If you need to host a website, if you're a doctor's office and you need to move your patient files from the back room into the cloud, or if you need to train a world-class AI model, you can do that on legacy cloud infrastructure. However, each of those workloads have vastly different levels of complexity and requirements, and in a one-size-fits-all environment, they all run on the same infrastructure. Simply put, if AI has unique requirements, yesterday's infrastructure doesn't meet the demands of where the industry is going. So specialized infrastructure, purpose-built for AI workloads for GPU acceleration, has proven to be 40 to 60% more cost-effective on a performance-adjusted basis. So finding a cloud provider that's purpose-built to drive that performance, value, and agility that AI development requires is really important as you look ahead. That's what one of our clients, Tartil AI, did. Tartil is an AI-powered religious study app that serves a market of 2 billion plus people around the world to help them practice and improve their relationship with their faith. Unsatisfied with limited GPU options and unoptimized solutions from the generalized legacy cloud providers, Tartil AI migrated its inference infrastructure to CoreWeave. And since migrating, Tartil saw a 22% improvement in inference latency and a 56% cost reduction compared to running on more generalized legacy infrastructure. Next is this concept that GPU infrastructure isn't fungible. So there are new businesses attempting to enter the cloud market, promising immediate capacity, and others looking to build their own infrastructure in-house when it seems impossible to get GPUs in the cloud. While getting your hands on GPUs is certainly appetizing in today's market, it's important to recognize that not all GPU infrastructure is created equal, and the experience required to run GPUs at scale and quality that businesses require can't be short-circuited. Successfully running tens of thousands of GPUs in the cloud is extremely complicated, and as you evaluate your cloud infrastructure for whom you're going to trust to run this for you, it's really important to understand their health checking and monitoring systems, how they validate nodes and make sure that all of this infrastructure is healthy, is running effectively, and powering your workloads, how they deal with things like hardware failures, the logging and monitoring that they have in place, and how the networking and storage that they deliver affects the performance of your compute workloads. So to keep pace with the market, it's really important you have the best possible performance. In June, the 2023 MLPerf results were announced, and in partnership with NVIDIA, CoreWeave delivered training benchmark performance that was 29 times faster than the next best competitor. World records aside, what's actually pretty unique and interesting about this is that the cluster design that we submitted with NVIDIA for MLPerf this year is commercially available, right? Typically, MLPerf submissions are run on clusters that are built for research labs, infrastructure that is not designed to scale and be widely available. Ours was built and delivered for a leading AI lab, Inflection AI, and follows strict networking architecture that CoreWeave's become known for. We build with InfiniBand, with Sharp support, et cetera. So think NVIDIA DGX reference architecture in the cloud. That's what you get at CoreWeave. So if performance is non-negotiable for the products you're building, for the way you're integrating AI into your business, who you get your infrastructure from really matters. So we get further down the road here, starting to think strategically about capacity planning. GPU infrastructure, again, probably the most kind of in-demand technical resource on the planet right now. In order to make sure your business is positioned well to succeed in 2024, it's imperative that you start planning now with a partner who thinks about this as strategically as you do. We've begun to see forward-thinking businesses shift how they approach capacity planning, recognizing that having access to infrastructure is existential to their business and they can't afford to be caught short in the future, right? So imagine you're an AI startup, you're going to raise a round. Historically, we've seen companies come out raising, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars and then raise their hand and say, okay, where are my GPUs, right? In today's market, when you can't get infrastructure, it's really hard to raise that type of capital and then not have the sort of critical infrastructure required to propel your business forward, to train your models, to bring your products to market, right? So we're starting to see both VC funds and early stage startups shift how they think about the sequencing of those decisions, going into investment rounds with commitments or allocations for GPUs so they can go raise money and know exactly when and how they're going to get started. So to make sure your business is keeping pace, no matter where you are in your fundraising journey or maturity of your company, it's really important to start planning ahead for next year's needs now. Wait times on GPUs, depending on the type of infrastructure you need, can exceed 6 to 9 months. So if you're not starting now for Q1, for Q2 planning next year, you're going to fall behind quickly. So again, work with your infrastructure partner. It doesn't matter if it's CoreWeave, somebody else, to secure the capacity you'll need next year, and have a plan for burst capacity if your business is going to require it. So the last thing here, prioritizing availability, but planning ahead 6 to 9 months kind of begs the question, what about now, right? It's all well and good to have a strategy for next year, but also having a strategy to train, serve, deliver your products to market in the meantime is equally as important. So thinking back a few slides ago to this concept of one-size-fits-all infrastructure and the limitations that provides for, or kind of puts on the market for where AI is going, this applies at the hardware level as well. Right, we found a lot of businesses migrating to CoreWeave's infrastructure, to specialized cloud infrastructure from the legacy generalized clouds. to kind of have the expectation that they only need one type of GPU, or there only is one type of GPU that meets the complexity of their workloads. Largely speaking, that's because that's what's broadly available in that one-size-fits-all model. So sure, some GPUs outperform others, but not every model has the same hardware requirements. Right-sizing your workloads can do wonders to address availability issues while also meeting your business needs for different tiers of your products, right? So let's say you're building a product and application that's going to run generative AI or NLP, or kind of have a large language model on the front end. It's often that companies will have different sizes of models, right? Different, numbers of parameters that have kind of been injected to train those models. And to serve those models in production, you don't always need, for example, an 80 gigabyte A100 to deliver inference if you have 5 or 6 different versions of those models, right? So the concept of right-sizing your workloads and being able to find a GPU that fits your model and delivers a performance-adjusted cost with the capacity headroom to scale your business is really important, right? Same thing goes for if you're delivering a free, a sort of paid, and then an enterprise version of your product. You may want to prioritize cost against performance or inference latency to make sure that you can deliver effectively in all 3 of those tiers, right? So getting past that one-size-fits-all model and really thinking about how do I approach availability to deliver my products and services to the market, is an effective way to do that is at the hardware level as well. So knowing you can get your hands on the scale of compute you need to train models, get your product to market, and accommodating surging user demand is critical to avoid falling behind. We have over 10 different NVIDIA GPU SKUs available at scale on CoreWeave compared to 2 or 3 other options available on other cloud providers. Again, part of that goes back to being a specialized cloud and really being able to invest in and deliver infrastructure that meets the needs of the AI market, not every use case under the sun. But let's take a quick look at how a couple of our clients took advantage of that optionality to address their business. The first one's on the screen right now, Novel AI. This business is near and dear to my heart. We've been working with them for a long time. We kind of have partnered with them through their initial launch. And orders of magnitude growth since then, and now into training and developing their own models after starting with a broad range of open source models. They're a monthly subscription service for AI-assisted authorship, storytelling, virtual companionship, and they also serve as an LLM-powered sandbox. Since migrating to CoreWeave, Novel AI saw a 3x improvement in inference latency, enhanced user experience, and a 75% better performance-adjusted cost running on CoreWeave. Next, another good example, kind of looking at AI from the other side on training, is Bit192. So they're a Japanese media design firm that designs chat-based programs for use in various gaming platforms. Normalization has been especially important for their business, as Japanese has many variations for commonly used symbols. Without proper normalization, the model would not be able to generalize effectively, right? So they took the GPT Neo X20B model that Ultra AI released in January 2022 and retrained it from scratch in Japanese. When they came to us to do this, there was really kind of short supply of A100s, right? A100s built with InfiniBand. They've been in immense demand for a couple years now. And rather than waiting for A100s to become available, right? Say it would have taken a couple months or a few months to, a client contract to roll off or a training job to finish until they would have access to the scale they needed to train their model. They decided to prioritize availability and train their 20 billion parameter Japanese language model from scratch on A40 GPUs. A40s are less performant or powerful than an A100, right? But if you can get more of them and you can get them now, rather than waiting several months for an A100 and now an H100, it presents a pretty interesting and unique opportunity to get to market more quickly, right? So by prioritizing availability of different types of GPUs, thinking a little bit outside the box than what some others were doing, they were able to get their their model trained and get their new product to market much, much faster, accelerating growth kind of ahead of some of their competitors. So just to kind of summarize here, we've seen firsthand how access to infrastructure can propel AI businesses forward, and we've partnered closely with our clients that deliver that competitive edge. The lessons we learned here came from that work, and we're incredibly excited about the future of AI and what it has in store for businesses, for people, for society, et cetera. So thanks for your time today. No matter where you are in AI development, let us know if we can help.